The fact that we're not able to follow along the path of Dhamma is due to the kilesas, which are constantly waiting to oppress us. If we are to follow the Dhamma and practice according to the reality of things, we will need to put an end to the kilesa of craving. For as long as one is unable to put an end to the kilesa of craving, there will be no following of the Dhamma. Part 2. Coming to the end of the path through Dhamma. Phra Ajahn Suchart Abhijāto. Going to the origins of the body, earth, water, fire, and air, this is what is called practicing Kamatan. Coming to study Kamatan. In coming to learn who we really are from the Buddha, we will learn that this body is not who we are. This body is just made of 4 elements of earth, water, wind, and fire. When they come together, the 4 elements change their form and become head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin. Hair of the head comes from the 4 elements. Nails, teeth, skin, muscle, tendons, and bones also come from the 4 elements. The 4 elements come by way of the food that we consume, the water that we drink, the air that we breathe, and as for the fire element, it comes from the heat of the sunlight. These are the things that make our body. Initially, this body is just a small thing. As it reaches adulthood, each part must develop. You should examine this to see how. Initially, they're just 2 cells that come together, but then progressively begin to expand and multiply from 2 to 4, then from 4 to 8, and so on. They keep on developing into the various parts of the body. Continuing, they become the hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. They become our bones and muscles. When all the 32 parts of the body are present, then that is the time when it will have to come out of the womb to continue developing further. Once it has emerged from the womb, it will have to continuously replenish itself with the 4 elements through eating and respiration. Likewise, the body's temperature also needs to be continuously maintained. If it drops below a certain point, we soon become ill, so we end up relying heavily on the fire element. There needs to be a balance in the fire element to maintain our health. We need the wind and the water element. Water is something we have always been drinking, but the earth element is not something that we have to spend all day replenishing, as we do with the water and wind elements. It is enough to replenish this earth element just 2 times a day. We can eat just twice a day. But regarding the wind element, we're continuously breathing. In just 1 minute, we have 60 in-breaths and out-breaths. Likewise, the water element doesn't require a lot, but it is still more frequent than the earth element. For this body to grow, the fire element must always be present. It will continue to grow until it reaches its full potential. In this stage, growth is more about height than it is about muscle mass, but once it has reached its full height, it begins to grow outwards in terms of muscle mass. Adding onto the arms and legs as well as the stomach, whichever parts they may be, they just continue to grow and get bigger. Having reached that point, it has reached its full capacity in terms of the frame of the body. Then from there on, there isn't going to be any more growth. It's simply a countdown as the body ages, withers, and gradually diminishes in size. This is just the nature of the body, the nature of the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water that have come together. It is just natural that once there has been a convalescence, there must also be a dispersal. Initially, the force of vitality that causes the elements to come and join together is stronger. But having reached the final stage of development, the force causing the elements to separate becomes increasingly stronger, and ultimately, this force prevails. There is just permanent separation. The separation begins at the point at which the wind element is no longer coming into the body. No longer coming into the body, the wind element will only find its way to come out. Likewise, water that does not come in will solely go out. Fire not coming in will only go out. If you were to leave the body like this for a long time, all that would remain are those parts consisting of the earth element. Becoming all dried out, this body just becomes dirt and dust. At this point, the body has turned back to its origins. It has gone back to the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. This is what is called kamatan, the work of which those who practice Dhamma need to study, more so than the amount to which those practicing to become a doctor need to study. A medical student studies solely to pass their tests, but after passing them, they no longer have any need to study further. In some cases, they end up forgetting what they had learned. Having learned various things and explored different fields of study, some which have no practical application in our lives, we often end up forgetting them because they are so specialized. Although we learn about this body at some point in time, we eventually find ourselves unable to recall that knowledge. If we want it to be fresh in our memory again, we have to take out our textbooks and look over them again. But in developing a kamatan, there's no such forgetting. The whole point of practicing with the kamatan is so that we won't forget to make this knowledge that is always with us. Even a single moment of forgetting causes us to fall into delusion that this body is ours, bringing suffering along with it. If, for instance, we're experiencing pain and still hold that this body is ours, then immediately the citta becomes troubled and experiences dukkha. But if we're not confused, and if we don't forget the body is just like an actor or a player in a game, just that and nothing more, then whatever might come up with the body is merely its own issue, not our issue. If we are unable to control the situation, as is the case with the body, the most we can do is take care of it to the best of our ability. If we can take care of it, then just go along with that. But if we are unable to take care of it, then just accept the situation. When the body is sick and in pain, we still have to stay with it, but the heart doesn't need to go along to suffer with it. Just know that the citta is not the body. Just know that this body is just earth, water, wind, and fire. Just that.